Mina Kimes, ESPN's NFL Live, on what Kevin Stefanski needs to figure out in terms of the scheme with this year's offense.
I think they're still figuring out what the identity is with Deshaun Watson, which sounds wild given that he's been on the team now for so long, but obviously has not played a lot of football. You saw last year when they made the change to Joe Flacco, really what I think the truest expression of a Kevin Stefanski offense is, explosive plays coming from that under center play action. That's not what Deshaun Watson does best. I thought it was very telling, or some of the hires they made this season were very telling. Going out, bringing Ken Dorsey from Buffalo as the offensive coordinator, and then dipping into the college game and bringing in Tommy Rees as their pass game coordinator. Reading the tea leaves, what that suggests to me is that they want to have a more robust RPO game to come off of Deshaun Watson being in the gun. I don't know if it'll work, but I feel like they're trying to figure out, okay, here's our quarterback in 2024. What does he do best? Pardon me. How can we build an efficient run game off of that? And that feels like the starting point.
Casey, I can't argue with that, but the thing is what else would you do? I mean, you know what he does well, so build the offense around what he does well. That's called coaching.
Yeah. Mina gets it. She understands the test here is to get the best football out of Deshaun Watson. And how do you do that? You lean on the things that he does best. My question is, why wasn't this the plan in 2022 when you go and get a Deshaun Watson? You know, there was some belief that they were going to be able to meld those two systems. They're going to meld what Stefanski likes to do with the play action, the zone running scheme, versus what Deshaun likes to do. And it just, for whatever reason, oil and water, we haven't been able to see that mesh. So you scrap that whole plan, you go get everybody in house that can kind of build around what Deshaun's skill set is. So now that's what you've done. Now, how long will that take to get off the ground? And how patient will the people be if it takes 4 or 5 weeks to build to see that come to fruition? I think there's the impasse. Now, none of that can matter to the team. The team has to be able to put the blinders on, keep building, keep stacking, keep trying to get this offense to evolve to that step. But there is going to be some growing pains. So people need to buckle down, and no one wants to hear that dreaded R word, but they're going to sling it around. You're going to hear the word rust as they try to get all these pieces in. And not for nothing, like, you can implement everything you want game plan wise, schematic wise. They really haven't had all the players on the field at the same time to practice it. So that now that people are starting to get healthier, you get everybody in practice, you get to start to build on these concepts, and it takes a lot of time on task for receivers and quarterbacks to get on the same page. So that's what it's going to take now in this new system. So this defense is going to have to fire out the gates pretty hard, carry the team through the first few weeks, in my estimation, before we get to see what this offense can truly be.
Yeah, and I would, people want to know, well, why wouldn't they do that with the reason they didn't go all in with it before is because you felt you had one of the best running backs in the NFL in Nick Chubb. And now Nick Chubb may come back and be one of the best running backs in the NFL, but you got to adjust to maximize your quarterback.